You're about to lose every color grade you have ever made in DaVinci Resolve, and it's not because you did anything wrong. It is because of where Resolve keeps them, and almost nobody is telling you where that is. And I am not talking about some bug or some update that eats your work. I mean the place they actually live right now at this very moment on your machine. And if you guys are new here, my name is Luke. I am a freelance cinematographer and editor, and we teach filmmaking right here on this channel. And if that's your thing, hit that subscribe button right there and let's get into it. You know, last Thursday when I posted that video, I told you guys I was going to do a video on PowerGrades and stills, and that's what we're covering today. We're going to be talking about where they live, how to get them out, and how to make sure you never lose them. In order to get to your PowerGrades and stills, we're going to go over here to our top left corner of the screen right here, and we're going to click Gallery. And underneath your gallery, you're going to see a side tab right here, right? If it's not clicked, you can click on this. You're going to see your side tab, and you're going to see stills and PowerGrades. And I want to sit on this just for 1 second because this is the #1 thing people ask about on this whole topic, and almost nobody is answering it. You know, everybody just says, go to your PowerGrade album like you already know where it's sitting, right? And if you are just starting out, you're going to be clueless because you're going to see nothing but this and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm confused, right? And that's exactly where I was. I don't want that to happen to you. So I really want you guys to write this down because this is very important to understand the difference between the still and the PowerGrade. A still will save a grade for this project, and a PowerGrade right here, it's going to save a grade for every project that lives in that database. So I've got a grade on this shot right now, right? It's nothing too crazy. I'm actually just going to add a little bit of contrast on here, warm it up maybe a little, and call it a day because it's not the importance of this video. This video is all about PowerGrades. Let's just say that we want this node tree the way it is right now. What we're going to do is we're going to right click on this frame here and we're going to say grab still. Now you can see this in your still album, but it's not in your PowerGrade. So if you want it in your PowerGrade, you can actually come over here, toggle PowerGrade, right click, grab still. Now it's in your PowerGrade. The other way that you can do this, and there's a shortcut on the keyboard, is Option Command G, and it's going to grab that still. If you're on a Windows-based machine, you're just going to press Control G, and it will bring that still over. And that is it. This little thumbnail here, I just want you to know it is not a picture. Like we discussed last week, I showed you guys the node graph that's within this still here, right? And it's a very powerful little picture because your whole node tree is sitting within that little frame right there. So on your stills, if you double click this, it's going to bring up your wipe. And these references are actually very powerful. You can actually do that from just simply going into here and using, you know, the wipe or whatever you choose to use. And these things are very powerful for shot matching. And I use the wipe constantly for my shot matching. And we'll get into shot matching in a later video. But we're going to see our still right here on the left-hand side. And we're going to see what we're coloring right now on the right-hand side. This is what our live shot is. And the cool thing about this is that you can drag this inside the viewer to move that line like wherever you want, you know, wherever you're happy with. And the other cool feature about the wipe, and this is why I use it a lot, is that you can come in here and come down to your sizing and you have, you know, many different options here, right? If you click on this one, this is your reference sizing. Let's just say that you have another person here and you want to really match that skin tone. You can easily just flip them, right? I want you guys to watch what's going to happen here when I do the exact same thing in the PowerGrade menu. If I come in here, it's bringing in the whole node tree, right? Now we remember in the stills, if we double clicked on it, it's going to bring up the wipe, right? So they're in the same panel and they have the same little thumbnail, but they do different things when you double click it. They're completely different results. And the only thing that really changed is which album I was sitting in. So if you have ever followed a tutorial that said double click to compare, and instead it just like dumped a grade all over your shot, that is the reason why, okay? You were actually in your PowerGrade menu here. Essentially, nothing was broken, but nobody really told you how it behaved differently. And that's the big key difference here. So when you get your frame in here, the other thing that I want to show you guys is how to rename them, because this is very vital. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and change our label. And let's just say we want this to be our warm look. Okay, contrast. And just look at that name right above it here. It says 2.1.1.t. Okay. Now, Blackmagic, it gives every still a 3-number code: the video track, the clip position, and the grade version. So that name is basically a set of coordinates for where that clip was sitting in a timeline, which means 6 months from now, when that timeline is long gone and you're done with that whole project, that name is pointing at a room that literally doesn't exist anymore. This is the part that literally everybody teaches: to grab your still, bring it in your still folder, and that's it. But here's the part that they do not teach. That PowerGrade album is not stored in Resolve. It is stored in your project database or project library. Some of you guys know them as databases, and some of you guys know it as the project library. So I want you guys to pay attention closely here. We're going to go back into our home menu. We're going to go into an entirely different database. Now, as you guys notice, this is a different project library, different database, right? And it's on the same computer. So basically everything's the same, but the PowerGrade is gone. It is not there. And these are from a different database here. Now, here's the thing. They are not deleted. They are sitting over in that other library or database that we just created. If that library is the only place they exist and something happens to it, let's say the worst case scenario, your hard drive dies or the project gets corrupted,
self-destruct sequence has initiated.
So be honest with me right now. How many of you guys have ever backed up your project library? And I'm not talking about like your footage. I mean your actual database. Because I learned that the hard way. Especially on Race Against Time. I actually posted a video on how to recover a project database, and it's in our videos there. So you guys can check it out if you're running into that issue. Needless to say, I lost all my PowerGrades, and I don't want you guys going through the same frustration that I had to go through. But here's what you guys can do, and it just takes like a few minutes, okay? So what we'll do here is we'll come back in here to our PowerGrade, right click, and we'll say export with display LUT. Boom. And we'll save it to our desktop. Just save it somewhere that you actually use a lot. You know, it's like your backup of backup. And don't save it into like the Resolve folder. Like, keep it somewhere that gets backed up with everything else you care about the most. Treat it like a client's footage. Let's just go back in here and we're going to load up this project again. Now we're back into this project, and obviously our PowerGrade isn't here, and we can actually right click and say add PowerGrade album so we have a clean one. And we'll go in here, press import, and we'll go into our desktop, and there it is, warm look. And what we need to look for is this .drx file. And boom, there it is. That is our PowerGrade, and it is backed, okay? And the second thing that you guys need to do, and I encourage you guys to do, is going into your preferences, going into your project save load, and making sure that you have a solid backup location and check marking project backup. And one last thing, and this one will save you guys headaches. A PowerGrade brings the entire node tree with it. So if you had a power window tracking somebody's face, for instance, and you save that still, that window is going to come with it. And it is going to land on the wrong face in the wrong shot. Strip it down first, take all the tracking off, and kill all the windows. A power grade is supposed to be a starting point. It is not a finished grade. To recap here, we talked about stills, right? Stills are for this particular project that we are working on. And the power grade is for every single project inside that one database. And we talked about how to back up your project. So go export what you already have, not later, but do it as soon as you get done watching this video. And look, I'm going to be honest here. Nobody who is selling you a power grade is going to teach you how to keep your own. And that is the only reason I decided to make this video. So take care of the work you already have been given. And that is really what it is right there. With that being said, I want to hear from you guys now. How many power grades are sitting in your library right now with no backup anywhere? And be honest, drop it below. I will be down there in the comments with you guys. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video.